This is looking amazing. We're gonna be coming down here every day. I love it.
I took a year of Spanish over 2 decades ago, and I thought I wouldn't remember anything.
Wow, this place is great. Look at these windows. This is it. We made it to Seville, and actually it's really cold here in January.
It is still early.
So from everything we've heard, this is a city that's supposed to sweep us off our feet. It's all about the historic charm and the tapas and the flamenco, and we want to try it all.
But first we've got to get settled in here and make it feel like home. We're in Seville for a whole month, and that means we've got a very big to-do list for our first day. We need to check out our neighborhood, figure out where the good restaurants are, and of course, share a first look at our Airbnb.
And since it's our second month in Spain, we're feeling a little bit more confident about navigating our way around. So we had a whole month in Valencia to play tourist and get used to the Spanish way of life, and now we're ready to really settle in and live like locals.
Or at least try.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna try because I'm still not convinced that I can eat dinner at 9 and 10 p.m.
I don't think so. So now we're gonna go take a look at what the city has to offer, and we're gonna bring you along. But before we get into it, a big hello from Seville to all you nomads and adventurers. If it's your first time here, I'm Gillian and this is Stephanie.
So we travel the world full time, and we want to bring a little more adventure into your life. And we're going to start with our first stop. Let's take a look at our new neighborhood. Of course, we're always flying a little bit blind when we arrive in a new city. So yes, we've seen the photos, we've read the guidebooks. Gillian usually spends hours walking through the streets in Google Maps, but we never really know what the experience is going to be like until we actually hit the ground. So all we can really do is hope that we've made some pretty good decisions with our Airbnb and our neighborhood. So with our neighborhood here in Seville, we wanted to strike the right balance. We want to be in a central location so that we're close to everything, but we don't want to be so central that there's a party going on 24/7. And back in Valencia, you saw that we were living right in the main town square area, and it was always pretty lively. And I think during peak season, it would just go wild. So this is our neighborhood. We're in an area called San Lorenzo. The street is called Alameda de Hercules. And looking around, I think we did pretty well here. It's away from the tourist center, but it's still very trendy. This whole street is just gonna fill up. All these bars and restaurants will be just filled with people, especially at tapas hour, because it's very famous. This whole area is really famous for great places to eat. So our actual apartment is just tucked away in a side street, and we're gonna give you the whole tour a little later in the video.
There's one thing that we really like having wherever we live, and we didn't really have this nearby in Valencia, but we're really hoping that it's available here in Seville, and that's green space. We just love having access to some kind of nature, whether it's a park or a river, just somewhere we can walk the dogs and escape all the city buzz. Now, Valencia does have Turia Park, which is a huge park that does a semicircle around the city, but right where we were living, we could barely find a patch of green. Now here in Seville, we've got a river just a few minutes away from our apartment, so we're really hoping that this will be a great spot for taking a walk with our dogs. Let's go take a look.
Hey guys, come on, off to the park. So you never really know what you're gonna get when there seems to be a river close by. It might not be developed for pedestrians and for recreational use, but at first glance, this is looking amazing. We're gonna be coming down here every day. I love it. So many people rowing already. This place just must be filled up on a weekend. It's just early morning on a weekday right now, so it's nice and quiet, but you can see the joggers and people out walking their dogs. This is a perfect spot for us. The street art here is really impressive, and it just goes on forever, really, just as long as the river goes. And some of it is really very well done. I'm impressed. What a beautiful morning. I really love it down here.
Our next stop is to stock up on groceries. Now, you saw me checking out the Central Market in Valencia on our first day there, and just how overwhelming it was. This market is unreal. There are hundreds of vendors. I really just have no idea where to begin. For our big stock up here in Seville, I'm going to the Mercadona, which is a popular low-cost grocery chain here in Spain. I'll be doing my best to get all the basic things that we like to stock up on, stuff like coffee, eggs, butter, fruits and vegetables, maybe a bottle of wine. So let's go in and see how we do. I'll get some arugula for €1.19. Baby spinach for €1. Get some baby potatoes at €1.80 a kilo. And also these 2 kilo bag of red potatoes at $2.80 for 2 kilos. Oranges are still in season here in Spain, so I'm gonna get a big bag for €3. Now, oil's not too hard to decide about because they only stock their house brand, so I'm going for the extra virgin olive oil, which is €4.15. And I definitely need to get some eggs, so I'm gonna get these Compares, which are the free-range eggs, and they are €2.40 for a dozen. I've been looking for oatmeal, which is sometimes hard to find. It might be with the baked goods or with the cereal, which it is here. And I always have to read the packaging really carefully so I don't end up with like flaked wheat or some other grain. So they do have this type here, which I tried in Valencia, and it actually kind of turned to mush when we cooked it. So I'm not gonna buy this one. Well, that went pretty smoothly. It definitely helped that I was familiar with the Mercadona stores from our time in Valencia. In the end, it was a pretty good haul, and it should hold us for at least a few days. One of the things that makes grocery shopping easier, and really everything in a new country, is speaking a few words in the language. Now, an interesting discovery about Spain, we've definitely noticed that fewer locals speak English than other countries we visited. Now, I took a year of Spanish over 2 decades ago, and I thought I wouldn't remember anything, but actually I've been pleasantly surprised. I'm far from fluent, but apparently I had a few useful words locked away in my memory. The ones that have been most useful are pleasantries like hola, buenos dias, gracias, and all the numbers. I somehow remember all the way to 100. I can ask for la cuenta and say, puedo pagar con tarjeta. And most important, un porción de churros con chocolate, por favor. Not bad, right?
Okay, now it's time for my favorite part of the video, which is taking a look at our Airbnb, and I'm very excited about this one. So this is actually our street, if you can believe it. So it's like a little pedestrian walkway. It's kind of like a little alleyway, and then on each side it has these gorgeous old-fashioned buildings. I don't know when they're dated from. They definitely feel very historic. So this is our place. And I would honestly say that this is probably one of the nicest buildings we've been in a very long time. So let's go inside and we'll take a quick peek. Here we go. So it's got, I guess, what is a common feature here, which is like a little atrium courtyard area. So pretty cute, nothing too fancy. Now there is an elevator, which we were really happy about, but actually we're just on the 2nd floor. So I'm gonna take the stairs. And this is our place right here. Okay, let's take a look. Wow, this place is great. Look at these windows. They're like beautiful, old-fashioned, charming windows. Actually, they open right up, and we've got this great little view of the street. I can actually pop right outside and see where we're gonna be having our tapas a little later. This is really lovely. I'm definitely gonna be happy here for a month. This living room is fantastic. It's sort of got a bit of a vintage chic sort of style. These couches are amazing. They're so big, we could just get lost in them. So we're definitely gonna be able to spend a lot of comfortable time sitting in this living room. And of course, the dining space is also really nice as well. I love this mirror and this sort of mid-century modern look about it. And then with the windows and all the light coming in, it's just a really pleasant space. So the kitchen is very decent. It's nothing too fancy, but it's got lots of counter space and lots of storage space as well. But fortunately, there's no clutter, which is always the danger when there's a lot of storage space. It's got all the appliances that we need, including that dishwasher that always makes me so happy. Now, we did notice right away that there are no knives for doing any kind of real chopping, but fortunately the host is going to bring one by, so our kitchen will now be complete. And that's just the reality of living in Airbnb. So no matter how perfect a place is and how beautiful the living room is, often the kitchen might have a couple missing items, and you just have to learn to work around it. Now, looking at the bedroom, it's a very simple design, pretty basic, but also fairly pleasant. And best of all, there's a nice solid door to the washroom, which we didn't have in our last place, so I'm very grateful to have it here. And we even have a second bedroom, and this is actually for my father. So we're so excited this month. He is braving the pandemic to come out and meet with us here in Spain. Of course, he hasn't had a vacation in the past couple of years with all of the lockdowns, so this is really exciting for us. Now, of course, it does cost a little extra to have a second bedroom, but of course, totally worth it for us. And we'll be doing a roundup of all of our costs, of our Airbnb and everything else we spend on here in Seville at the end of our stay. So you should definitely check back in for that. And that's it. We're all set up and ready for a month in Seville. We've got groceries. Gillian is practically mastering the language.
Hardly.
We've got a washing machine. We've got a dishwasher. What more do you need? We're totally set.
So based on 1 month in Valencia and 1 day in Seville, we're finding that we're really enjoying Spain. It has so much of what we look for in a destination. It's got the history, the culture, the great food.
Yeah, definitely. It's easy to see how people just fall in love with this country and never want to leave.
So if you enjoyed getting a peek at our first day in Seville, you should definitely check out our day 1 in Valencia. We'll admit we had a little bit of culture shock when we first arrived here in Spain. We really didn't know where to get started. So you can check out that video by clicking the link right here.